Frito-Lay with a scholarship for underserved students. I'm Amy.
I'm Kendall.
I'm Evelyn.
I'm Silva.
I'm Maxim.
And we're laying the foundation for the future of America. As Oprah Winfrey once said, to move forward, we have to give back. Here at Frito-Lay, we emphasize social products and believe this is what makes our company great. So I want to ask you guys a question. I know, everyone asks questions. This is not unique, but bear with me now. How many of you took out loans to get to college? That's quite a bit of people. You know, it doesn't seem a lot, but 5 or 6 people is quite a bit. That means you're probably going to have to be in debt and work it off over time. A lot of people who actually are impoverished or don't even have the funds for their family have to take loans to go into college. And most of them actually don't even consider that because their family doesn't even have enough money to consider the option of college. So, Frito-Lay is a leader in the food industry, and we believe it's important to be a leader in the community as well. By setting up a scholarship fund, Frito-Lay intends to reach out to 3 high schools in the Dallas area with the highest poverty rates and award them a full ride scholarship. Poverty often falls into childhood, from children into adulthood, because they're disadvantaged compared to middle class and upper class students. Evidence has shown that a significant amount of children who are raised into poverty do not even enroll into college due to the cost of having to pick up work over school to support their families.
Thanks, Amy. In today's economy, getting a college degree is incredibly important, but not only is it important, it is a huge financial burden on students and families. So, it is estimated that by 2020, 65% of jobs in the U.S. will require a college degree. Many students go into a substantial amount of debt in the pursuit of a college degree, and 23% of individuals who were raised in poverty never enroll in college, and 67% of those who do never actually achieve and get their degree. Also, students will borrow an average of $29,200 to complete their education. As you can see here, the poverty in Dallas is very, very bad. It is one of the worst in the state. And since 1989, the median income in Dallas has been on a decline. Over half the households in Dallas make less than $50,000 per year, and 28% of that make less than $25,000 per year. Also, Dallas has one of the lowest percentages of individuals who have gotten their college degree. Can I hand it off to Evan?
Kendall.
Okay, so obviously we know we have a problem with poverty in the Dallas area, so what are we going to do about it? Well, Frito-Lay wants to improve these statistics by allowing academically qualified students and financially qualified students full ride scholarships. So we plan on doing this for students graduating from 2020 to 2023, and we don't want any of these students to fear that they have to drop out due to financial reasons. So we've chosen to target James Madison High School, LG Pinkston High School, and Trinidad Garza because these schools are zoned to the 5 most impoverished zip codes in the Dallas area. So we're not going to limit the applications to these schools, but we are going to reach out personally to counselors in order to get the word out and make sure that these students really know. So these students will have a slight advantage, but it will all eventually come down to whoever's the most academically qualified and whoever's essays are the most competitive. So let's talk money. Frito-Lay has set aside about $1.7 million a year for each grade. Roughly 100,000 of this is going to go to administrative costs, and Max is going to go into that in detail in a second. But the rest, the 1.6, is going to be completely allocated to our students. So that's going to be about $40,000 per student for 40 students for our first year. And we want to cover living expenses, books, everything, because we know these students are really coming from nothing. So we want to give them the full opportunity to be able to pursue this. We'll eventually reach a maximum of $6.4 million for the 2023-2024 school year, because at that point we'll have 4 grades of students enrolled. And obviously this is going to be variable because at the end of each year we're going to reassess our budget line items and try to see how we can make it more efficient. So we do hope to come in under 6.4 at the peak of the program. At the end of the 4 years, we're going to reassess the social impact that our program has had on the students and see if it's worth expanding and adding even more money to this so we can help even more students. Maybe expand out of the Dallas area. So our mission is to reach out to these 3 high schools, get as many students as possible involved, and then choose the most competitive 40 out of our application pool. Anybody can apply because we do want to help as many people as possible, but right now we're just keeping this in the Dallas area. So we're going to create a budget that includes all the scholarship services. This will include all the expenses, as I mentioned earlier. And now I'm going to talk, or give this over to Silva, who's going to go more in detail about our plan.
Thanks, everyone. So our plan is that first we need to target the schools. It's important for them to understand from an early time how prestigious this program will be and how much it can benefit students who come from impoverished backgrounds. And we want to spread awareness to these schools through the counselors and staff. We believe they have the most close relations with the students, and they can really help us out with that, along with us hiring a Frito-Lay staff for it. We can also use the help of counselors and staff to do it. And secondly, students can apply for the scholarships through our online application. And by doing it online, it makes it easier process for the students as well as the staff at the schools. They can tell their students to sign up through this online application, and we can have an easier sight of how many students have applied and how effective it's working. So how will they even know about this opportunity? Well, Frito-Lay will have a staff that will be hired during the months of May through August, and this is the time right before the school year, so having the staff hired at this time will give them time to plan out the program and really spend time on planning out how they're going to address the students. And as I said before, we will also be using the help of staff and the counselors in the school itself to address the needs and target the parents and the students of these impoverished students so they have a better understanding of the program. And then Frito-Lay will market the application through direct school channels and through applications on the internet. So this is a way that, and we believe that building our online presence will make it a more effective process and make it more easier for all the students to apply. So about the application will open in October and close out in November, but all the months prior to that will be spent on spreading awareness for the program. And giving this a month to have the actual application open will give students the opportunity to discuss this with their counselors and have a good understanding of what this program will offer them in their future. So in order to be eligible for this, the applicants will have to submit proof that they are a recipient of free lunch. They'll have to submit a high school transcript, and this is important because grades are a pretty crucial consideration of this program. And they will also have to submit an essay. So this essay, as we see normally with college applications, essay proves and shows the hires, their talents and their personality outside of academics. So this is a really important consideration, the personality and the character of the students. And the 40 students with the most compelling essays and competitive grades will be chosen to receive the scholarship. And we believe this is a fair advantage to the students because at the end of the day, the qualifications are still academic excellence and your personality and character and your ability to pursue this program. And how we decide, we will be using the months of December and January to consider the applicants and review the whole process and see how qualified these students are. And in the middle of February, the Frito-Lay will announce who the winners are, and we will be assisting families of the winners to transition into this because it's a new thing for all these families because it's not something that they're used to, and a lot of these people have come from backgrounds with no college education. So we will be offering those transitional services. And also in June, we'll be awarding this money in a lump sum. And for the next academic year, Frito-Lay will be following up on these students every 3 months to see how it's going and all the social and financial aspects of it. And we will be evaluating this process to see how we can improve it for the next year and how effective we have actually been. And now I'll give it to Max.
Thank you, Silva. All right, so our budget is divided into 3 parts. So we're going to have the administrative, advertising, and the scholarship itself. So for the administrative, it includes the application processing, the legal fees, the accounting and reporting, the website and website management, and also the student follow-ups, for a total of $52,000. So next, sort of for the advertising, so Frito-Lay is going to run ads on social media. So we decided to use Facebook and Instagram because our targeted audience is suited for the two platforms. And also to end it, for the high school outreach, 10,000, and also we distribute some flyers in the 3 high schools selected for a total of 24,000. All right, and for the scholarship itself, it will total for 40 students to 1,600,000 for a total cost for the first year program cost to 1,676,000. All right, and for the staffing, so we will need to hire a website designer, a scholarship operation management, and also a part-time assistant, and a marketing specialist. All right, so for the website designer, we decided to outsource. First, we decided to save some costs and use our own personnel for the IT and accounting department, and also for our legal team. For the website designer, we decided to outsource it to bring uniqueness to our website. And the scholarship operation manager will perform some tasks like follow up students, ask for further details, and also eligibility for the students. All right. And now I'll pass it to Amy.
Thank you, Max, and thank you, the rest of you. In conclusion, Frito-Lay hopes to successfully educate local students by helping them achieve their academic dreams. By targeting James Madison High School, LG Kingston High School, and Trinidad Garza, we aspire to focus on students who have minimal or close to no financial benefits. However, scholarship opportunities are not only restricted to these schools. People outside schools with low poverty families can still get these scholarships and apply for them. However, by eliminating crucial higher education factors such as financial barriers, we strive to create young and talented professionals for the legacy of our country.